Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Yes, we are. Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious, and the paranormal is the new normal. Yes. You made it to the Truth Quest. Thank you very much. Let's go check out the chat. Hello, Jacob Waters. Welcome to the Truth Quest. Welcome, my friend. You're the first one here. Oh, second one, maybe. Green Dragon 64. Hello there. I think you're second, Green Dragon 64. I'm going to grab number 4 as my lucky number. Because when you smash that thumbs up, that's your lucky number for at least a week. So if you're in need of a lucky number, why, we've got one for you on the thumbs up. Alrighty then. I think we're going to share this out to my Facebook friends because I still haven't figured out how to plan all this stuff in advance. I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. Lots of things don't really work for me, but that's okay. That's quite all right. That is just fine. I love figuring out the workarounds. So there you go. Join us and call in. How does that sound? Well, let's see if we can get any takers this time. We get a call in. Bingo. Now that's off to the Facebook land. And who do we got here now? Oh my goodness, we have Corbin Phoenix. We got Kelly George. We have Catherine Weiss. We've got Mud Rabbit and Dark Brain. Oh my goodness, we've got the whole gang here. How do you like that? Well, welcome, friends. I'm so glad to see you all. You know, it's just so nice to have friends online. It's just a crazy thing. Online friends. Back in the old days, the only thing I ever had online was my laundry, right? Back in the day. Yeah. You know, back in the day, I say, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, everything was better in the past. About the only thing that isn't better is you don't have to call up time anymore when you get a new wristwatch or a new alarm clock. You don't have to call up time to get the actual time, you know, from the official time number, which was 555-1212, no matter what area code you were in. 555-1212 was the number for time. And they had access to the atomic clock or something like this. And so you call up, and I think it was a live person that you talked to. Or maybe it was a recording. I can't remember. Oh, Catherine, thank you so much for that very generous super chat. Thank you so much. And that's a great way to support the program if you're so inclined. So thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah. There we go. So yeah. So you used to have to call time. Now you don't have to call time anymore. But that's pretty much the only thing that that is better than before, I would have to say. I would say the news was much better in the past, or at least we didn't realize it was fake. What do you think about that news today, friends? Did anybody watch the goings on today with the, it looks like the trial of the century is going to go to the jury, right? Soon, or did it already? I'm not sure. let's see, what are we looking for here? Alrighty then. Oh, I know what I was looking for. Silly me. This, the meeting invitation. So if anyone has an inkling to call in, feel free to call on in. Well, it's clearly, you know, it all reminds me of that song. What is it by Billy Joel? An Innocent Man, is that what it's called? That's what that whole trail reminds me of. You know who he kind of reminds me a little bit of Bud from All in the Fan or from Father Knows Best. All American kid, you know, and let's just all hope that all the jurors will you know, come to the correct conclusion based on what they saw. And that's our system. And you know, it's kind of nice to have our whole system kind of on display for the world. Other countries like, wow, really? They let the citizens decide? Whoa. You know, they might go, hey, maybe we should try that. So I think this whole, you know, they're televising this, but of course not the Ghislaine Maxwell. Not that one. No. That one would get more people watching it, I think. I wonder what they're going to do when they decide that, you know, oh, you know what? I forgot to do the old one tap mobile. So let me get that. Losing track of what I'm doing here. Here we go. There we are. And there you have it. Yeah. Kyle's a good guy, you know. The kind of guy you'd want to be friends with. You know, he's just seems like a very good kid. He just does. Young man, I guess now. He's 18, I guess, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my kids that this is Captain America. How do you like that? Looks like Captain America to me. You gotta love all the memes, all the pro Kyle memes out there. You gotta love them because they rock. That's what keeps us going, the memes, baby. Yeah. I'm gonna tell my kids this is Captain America. He kind of looks like Captain America there too, doesn't he? I think so. Yeah, there he is. Wholesome, all-American young man. So it was nice watching this whole thing. You really feel like you get to know the kid. And he's just genuine, honest, and, you know, the kind of kid that you know you'd like to have as your neighbor because he's a nice guy, and everything else like that. And so yeah, I got this other one. I got to show you. It's great, and you might have seen it. But I made an observation that I'm not sure if anybody else made this observation. Where is the one that I was looking for? Oh, this one's pretty good. I guess I'll have to find it. I thought I had that one all queued up, but I guess I didn't. Okay, so there you go. Oh, there it is over here. Oops. It's behind that. Sorry. There's Peppy. He's got his hand just like Peppy. Oh man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. It's just too cool for school. Don't you think? Don't you think? But you know what else? Where did it go? I don't know where that went. It went somewhere. Okay. Yeah, that's a great one. Peppy rocks. The one I'm trying to find is a picture of him, looks like a year or two ago, doing his training as a fireman and a policeman in the uniforms. It's so cute. But I can't find it. I'll have to find it some other time and show it to you all. But Kyle. Now, yeah, here's one. Here's another good one that I would say pretty much rocks. The truth is, they're not after you know who. They're after your right to defend yourself against armed hostiles they support. Yes. None of this would have happened if the police wouldn't have been told to stand down. And who were they told to stand down by? Let me guess. The FBI, who maybe inserted some people in there, got some people out of prison or insane asylums, possibly. That's my guess. Just a guess. I don't know. What do you folks think? No worries, Mud Rabbit. No worries. So there you go. Yeah. That all wouldn't have happened if this whole, summer of rioting hadn't have happened. Supported and funded by certain elements of our own government. So that's very, yeah, why was the drone there? Yeah. Yeah, it seems like the best footage was gotten by the actual people on the ground there, the Patriots filming, not the drones. They got hardly any. Of course, maybe we didn't see the good stuff that they had. They had one fuzzy picture that you couldn't see anything. And with my experience adding pixels to pictures, it doesn't add any other colored pixels. It just crams more pixels in to take up those gradients. It doesn't change anything. No colors are changed. So I don't know. I know they were going back and forth on that. I just don't think that happens. Because sometimes I'll get an image and it's like 72 DPI and it's just pixelated. So you go in and you adjust the size and you make it 300 DPI or whatever you want. And then it comes back, it's blown way up. You get to blow it back down. And it's a little bit fuzzy on the edges, but it's a lot clearer. There's no more pixelation. So all it does is just sharpens the image a little bit. Doesn't really change pixel colors. So I thought that was a huge misdirection, of course. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, you could tell which side was desperate and which side was calm and collected. So there you go. It's, and I was watching Red Pill tonight, and he was watching the trial today. It was being live streamed by an independent news outlet. and the stream stopped. They kicked him off. So you had to use a mainstream stream from the mainstream media, like Fox or something. All of the independent people they kicked off. So isn't that interesting? I wonder. I'm sure their ratings are going through the roof with this, and they want to just get rid of all the competition because they can. And but what are they going to replace this with? They're probably going to be scrambling around. This is what the deep state. They're probably going to be scrambling around. Oh, ooh, this trial was good for ratings. Maybe we should create something that would be kind of like that. I could see them just unbelievable. That's why news should never be shouldn't be for profit. Shouldn't be for profit. Just like healthcare. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Anyway, I saw this today. Now, I was watching the trial today, and I was looking at the judge. Okay. And so I was looking at the judge going, okay, he looks like somebody. Okay. You know who he looks like? He looks like the guy I just posted. You know who that is? That's not the judge. That's Art Carney. I thought, wait a minute. He looks just like Art Carney. Art Carney, from the Honeymooners. The annoying neighbor with the vest and the little pockets. So let me show you a comparison of the two. And here it is, friends. I mean, even his profile, he looks like him too. It's unbelievable. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. There it is. Here it is right here. Okay. Look at that. They look very similar. Okay. Now, I think Art Carney did pass away. But it just, they say it's a movie. We're watching a movie. And these are actors. What do you think? I don't know. The judge looks a little bit younger, though. Of course, they can reverse aging. Clones. Maybe it's Art Carney. That seems like a role he would pick. So, hey, maybe it's Art Carney. He kind of sounds like him, too. So next time you watch him, think Art Carney. And if you curious, look Art Carney up on the intranet and watch videos of him. And what are they, doppelgangers? Twins? Are they related? There you go. Art is long gone. Yeah, but hey, it looks like he lives on in the courtroom. Maybe he only exists like holographically in the courtroom now for future televised events like this. I don't know. To the moon, Binger, straight to the moon. Yeah, Dark Brain. That's a good one. 2003. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good alibi, you think? Yeah, 2003. That's a darn good alibi, I'd say. Oh, yeah. What was I going to do? I think that's interesting. Good old Art Carney, reincarnated. Hey, Art Carney reincarnated. You know what I was thinking about the other day, friends? The words meditation and medication. I wonder if medication was formulated to sound like meditation. to kind of replace it. What do you think? Yeah, it's probably not Art Carney, but I thought, wow, it looks like him. It kind of looks like him. So I can't help it. When I see something visually, I just have to like, hey. And I haven't seen anybody else say this, because I came about this conclusion while watching this today. I'm looking at him going, who does he remind me of? And that Art Carney, man, totally. Reincarnation instant breakfast drink, yeah. Yeah, we used to eat. I used to eat those instant breakfasts all the time. We call them insane breakfasts. We call them insane breakfasts. So that's probably what happened to me. Too many insane breakfasts. There you go. But you know what? I'd rather be insane than to be out of sane. I always want to be sane. So I wouldn't want to be out of sane. What's the opposite of out of sane? Insane. There you go. That means you have your sanity. That's my interpretation. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? So that's my big revelation. Wow, Art Carney. So think that next time you watch him on, I guess tomorrow. Wow. You heard it here first, friends. So I'm sure it'll be on all the news outlets pretty soon. Hey, Rosetta Stone. That's a cool name, Rosetta Stone. That's like what helps you, figure out different languages, right? When you find two things of the same in different languages, you can figure out the code. The Rosetta Stone. Yeah. Terry Hopper's in the house. Hey, Terry. Good to see you. Where is it? Here it is. I got to open up this thing here and keep an eye in case somebody calls in. Feel free to call on in if you want to. And a little chat message here. There. A message to the people in the chat if they call in. Hello, Jeremiah. I'd rather overstand than understand. Good point. I never thought of that one. That's a great one, Jeremiah. There you go. Wow. And there you have it. So, yeah. Just for a little bit of context, I believe this was the night before the night that all went down that we're seeing in that trial now. Here's the car source of Kenosha. One night before the owners asked for armed security to watch their property. So there you go. Black Lives Matter. It didn't matter, did it? That wasn't what they were doing. They just were there. They were hired to destroy. Who paid them? I have my suspicions. I think it was coordinated as it was all across the country. This one, no different. And I believe that they release people from jail, from medical, insane asylums and wherever they can get these crazy people, and they pay them to go and loot. This is like a holiday for them. And, you look at the characters that were involved, that were, trying to eliminate Kyle. These were not good people. So is it just a coincidence that all these really bad people are out there, or are they being used by people who control them? Oh, we'll let you out, but you got to do this, and you got to do this, this, and this, and you got to do this for us because we want this political narrative. Yeah. I thought that was so ironic. Black Lives Matter, but I guess that didn't matter, that they were supporting the cause. They probably even gave money to them. And then look what they did. They destroyed the place. Every single car in the lot was burnt to a crisp. Yeah, and you know, there were 2 other car lots by the same company, and that's what they were protecting. And they were smashing them. You saw them in the video. They were smashing the cars. These people are animals. And if the police hadn't been called to stand down, none of this would have happened. They would have caught these people before they lit the first fire, you know? But the police were completely not doing anything. Why? Why were they not doing anything? I don't know. It was all planned. It seems like it's so planned, you know? That's what I think. Totally planned. Planned, planned, planned. I think Soros, definitely. Soros and people like him just that want to destroy the country. But we have to be smarter than the bad guys and not let it happen. And thank goodness that Kyle was there that night. Because there's a couple less creeps on the road, on the streets, to be used by whoever's using them. So yeah, and he'll be able to. They're talking about, his mother was asked about defamation lawsuit from with Biden, because Biden called him a certain color supremacist, and that's just this Biden character. He has a real knack for always saying the very wrongest thing, the very most wrong thing you can possibly imagine. He says it. You know, it's like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You know, he's just a grisly, a gristly, prickly type of a character, you know, very prickly. I don't know. It's a sad, sad thing. Sad thing, friends. Sad. Yeah. And here's another one along those lines, and it's a really good one. And someone took this DiCaprio and they put Kyle's face in it. Is that Kyle's face? Because it sure looks like it. I think that's clever. 500 Wisconsin National Guard on standby as the trial nears the end. Yeah. If you would have done that the last time, this never would have happened. Of course, it was allowed to happen. It was designed to happen. Unbelievable. That's why, all the people who are behind all of this rioting, that needs to come out. And maybe that's part of what Durham's doing, right? Maybe that will be what's coming out. But this is a pretty cool one, because it takes the DiCaprio look, and I do believe that's Kyle, right? Sandy Sue, good to see you. Thank you for sending me that picture. Do you want me to show that on the air here? That picture of you in your Grays t-shirt? Good evening, Artist 61. Glad to see you here. Biden is sticking foot in face. Yes. Yes. Certainly has. Every single time he opens his mouth, you know, I know someone like that, but I'm not going to make any comments. But I do know someone like that, so he's not the only one. Not the only one. Okay. You know what, Sandy Sue? That picture is kind of backwards. I could reverse it and make it so you can read it. Maybe I'll do that. Go over to tools. There we go. Perfect. Oh. All right. Let me get back here. Oh, SpaghettiOs. There it is. There we are. Back here. Good to be here. Glad to see you here, Artist 61. Okay. And I'll show it, all right? I think you says okay. Okay with me, yes. All right, let's do that. So here's Sandy Sue, 22, with her Truth Quest supporting t-shirt that emulates the first Beatles album, but does it a la the aliens. Meet the Greys. There it is. How do you like that? Thank you, Sandy Sue 22. Yeah, that's these shirts rock. I mean, they're the size of the image is bigger than you think it's going to be, you know? So that's pretty cool. Very cool stuff. So thank you, Sandy Sue. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay, where is this? There it is. That is awesome. Hey, there's the Truth Quest merch. Thank you, Mud Rabbit. Aren't these mods great? It's almost like it's like there's some kind of planning to all this, but it really isn't. It's just really good mods, and I'm a lucky guy. That's pretty much all it is. The Gray's Magical Mystery Tour, yeah. Yellow Submarine would be a good one too, huh? Rocking that shirt, yeah. That's great. I like that shirt too. I have one of those myself. Yeah. So, yeah, in fact, wait a minute. Do I have it here? I have a bunch of my shirts right here. Let me see. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, here it is. Oh, see? The Grays. There you are. Bigger than Dallas. You know? Yeah, you know, and here's the logo, right? The big logo has the big Q on it. So you walk down the street and people are like, wow, Q, cool. And then I got the Skinny Bob t-shirt that has the pictures of the real alien, Skinny Bob, our good friend, who we're going to have on the show for an interview as soon as we get the interstellar communication from him. All right. We put the word out and we're just waiting to hear back, you know. Got to call East SETI and see if they get, you know, the C SETI or whichever SETI, one of those SETIs. We have to go call them and see, are they there? They might be there. They're somewhere. And with quantum entanglement, they might just be entangled with us. We just don't know. I want to know who I'm quantumly entangled to. That's going to be the next, what do they call it? Twin flame. That'll be the next twin flame thing. Right? Oh, you're wearing your Quest logo right now? Awesome, Dark Brain. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm that logo came out pretty good. You know, I've designed many logos, and that one came pretty quick. Some of them come quick, some of them take a while. Oh, I was doing a little sketch of an alien, and so here's what he looks like so far. What do you think of this little guy? He's got like normal eyes, but he's like, hey, take me to your leader. Yeah, kind of fun. So I'm thinking about maybe I should do a children's book with aliens. Maybe that would be cool too. I'm still working on my my awesome possum books. These babies. See, here's the last page. He's all content on his bus ride on the way home. So yeah. Here he is on the playground. Check it out. He's got the ball. He's playing with the ball. He's having a blast. Oh, you like the art in the background? Yes. This is, where's my light? This is the piece of art that Sandy Sue commissioned to be done by this fabulous artist from Poland. And that's me doing my Elvis. And that's Elvis blessing me from above. So isn't that awesome? Very cool. Thank you, Fun Eyes Hybrid. Thank you. Yeah, because some of the aliens do have, normal looking eyes. Some of them do. And some of them have just the black, but some of them have like normal type eyes. Oh yeah, he looks friendly. Thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's kind of fun to draw those little space aliens. Here's something that I think was interesting. So you might have seen this. This is, I believe, a school in California where they're having I think it's some kind of a mandate they're implementing. And so all the students that will not be going to school left their shoes there as a protest. Uh-oh, where's my phone? Oh, it's way under here. Looks like we got a call from our friend, Max. Max, is that you?
Yes, indeed. How are you?
Very good, very good. How are you?
Good. Fantastic.
Good. What's new in your world?
Are you live?
We're live, yep. You're on the air.
What's the discussion of the day?
We're talking about that trial of the century that went on today, and I'm just showing a picture now of a school out in California where hundreds of kids put a pair of shoes on the steps. And those are the kids who will not be coming to school if they go ahead with this mandate that they're trying to enforce. So there's a lot of pushback, and that's really good to see. Mud Rabbit says, hi, Max. Mud Rabbit says. Dark Brain Max.
Hi, Mud Rabbit.
Dark Brain says Max.
I have another kind of a eureka moment. I've been talking about how we're basically in a training simulator, and I'm sure a lot of people out there say, yeah, right,
Mm-hmm.
But well, I found another phrase that just kind of popped out there. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
When you analyze Let's Go, Brandon, guess what?
What?
It says Q30.
Okay.
And this was made by the mainstream. You don't think the mainstream did it on purpose?
I don't know.
But God is in control. This is the matrix we're in. For example, the first word, let's. You got the first letter L is 12. E is 5, so you got 17, right? There's the Q.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, what's T is 20, and S is 19, so you got 39. Add the digits, 3 and 9 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. And, of course, you can add 0 and 9, and it'll not affect anything, okay? You say, yeah, but that's not the whole phrase. Well, remember what I said, you can add or subtract any multiple of 9, and it has the same meaning. And if you add the rest of it, go Brandon. Go is 20. Brandon is 68. So 20 go is 22, and 68 is 90. A multiple of 9. So see, the reality keeps saying the same thing. And then let's go to, is it Bannon? Today he reported to the FBI, right?
Yeah.
And he had something he said. He was talking about, and of course I saw it repeated on Black Conservative Patriot, where he's talking about signal, not noise. If you analyze signal, not noise, you get 62, 49, 62. And 62 plus 49 is 111, which is, of course, an auspicious number. And if you get the same auspicious number if you go backwards. Okay?
All right.
And that actually adds to, guess what? 173 or 17. And you can add the 0, remember, 1730, which is Q30.
Right.
There's just two examples.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think these people planned this? No, they could. I mean, Bannon could have planned it, possibly, but I don't think the lady from the mainstream media planned it. So I'm just trying to show you that all of our reality, everything's going according to plan. This is our simulator. We're even the deep states, in their words, are giving us this message. Whether I have it correct as to what it means is that could always be debated.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no question this message is being put out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd just bring that up and let people ponder that a while.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting.
So then I worked on one of my songs.
Okay. Oh, Terry Hopper is asking what he's saying is that if you multiply any number by 9, then add up the digits of the answer, you get 9, for example. Yeah. Okay. He gives 2 examples.
Well, you give an idea. Let me illustrate that.
He gave 2 examples. He gave, 9 times 8 equals 72. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Yeah.
Right. Now,
Right.
if you go back,
Right.
I think it was about the middle of August when I first gave a more elaborate explanation of what I call V-math.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different kind of math, and I'll do a very simple, short example as a refresher for those who've not seen this before. Okay.
All right.
If you take the number 5, that's the base number. You can't reduce it to any other numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But the next, what I call the next octave up, is 14, because 1 plus 4 is 5. And the next one beyond that is 23, because 2 plus 3 is 5. And of course, the next one up is 32, because 3 plus 2 is 5. And then 41, which you'll notice 4 plus 1 is 5, but it's also the reverse of 14.
Okay.
And then, of course, you get to 50, where there are 2 in that, because there's 50 and then there's 59, because 5 plus 9 is 14, and then 1 plus 4 is 5. So the base energy is still 5. Okay. So you can add, if you add 5 plus 5 plus 5, of course you get 15, and the base energy of that answer is 1 plus 5 is 6, right? The base energy. If you do the same thing, you could take 5 plus 14 plus 23. Let's see, 5 plus 14 is 19, plus 23 is 39, plus 3 is 42, which is 6. You see, it has the same base energy. I'm trying to illustrate the math. So now, if you take a number, let's just say 14, and the base energy is 5, right?
Okay.
But you add a 0 to it, right? 14 plus 0, of course, is 14. We already know that, right? So let's add 9, or any multiple of 9. Let's just add 9 to start out with. What's 14 plus 9? That's 23. Add the digits. The base energy is still 5. Okay, let's add 18. Let's double that, right? 18 plus 14 is what, 32? Add the digits, you get 5. So you can add or subtract multiples of 9, and you get the same base energy.
Okay.
And that's what the point is there. So if you add 90, which 22 plus 68 in that one example, that's a multiple of 9, so it doesn't change as a result. That's why the first word "let's," which comes out to 173 or 1730, is not modified by what comes after it. So,
okay.
Anyway, so.
All right.
I hope that explains a little bit more.
I think so. I think you did a good job.
And there's a lot more to the mathematics than that. Of course, this mathematics, I believe, is the underlying mathematical structure of our universe. It permeates everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that didn't see this, look at the patterns. Each basic number has a pattern. Well, we have 1, which is 1 times 2 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? But then 2, if we do 2 goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, which 10 is 1. And then the next one is 12, which is 3. And the next one is 14, which is 5. See, it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's the pattern that 2 makes in this math. Let's look at 3. What does 3 do? 3, 6, 9, and then 12, which is 1 plus 3, which is 3 again. So 3 pattern of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. And then 4 is 4, 8, and then 12. 1 and 2 is 3. And then the next one is 16, which is 7. And so it seems to have a less obvious pattern, but there is a pattern there. If you look at every other number, you'll see the pattern. Okay, now let's take a 5. Number 5 is one of those patterns that shows up actually in the Q drops, which nobody noticed, and I noticed. It's one of the first things that keyed me in and woke me up to the fact that I knew all this. Okay, there was one post around January 6th, like the day after, or 2 days after, where it said, it looked like a countdown, 8, 7, 6, 5, ... And it also had another pattern, 5, 1, 6, 2. In that same post is one where they first mentioned Q space 30. Okay, well, let's look at that pattern. What pattern counts down 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Well, it's 8. Look what 8. What's the next multiple of 8? 16. What's 1 plus 6? 7. What's 3 times 8? 24. What does it add up to? 6. What's 4 times 8? 32. What does it add up to? 5. So you see it counts 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm trying to say to you is that all these, 6 was 6, 3, 9, 5 is 5, 1, 6, 2, so on and so forth. And then 6 is 6, 3, 9, 6, 3, 9, 6, 3, 9. 7 is 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 9, 7, And then 8, I just told you about. And then 9 is just 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Because you got 9 times 2 is 18, which is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, which is 9. So on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take all the digits, the biggest number you can make with all the digits, I think, is 9,876,543,210. Okay, that's the biggest number. There are 3 million. There's 10 factorials. So there's 10 digits. There's 10 factorial combinations of all those numbers right there. And that means 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 4 times 3 times 1, right? Times 2 times 1. So that's 3,628,800 combinations. Every one of them is divisible by 9. This is something you can impress your friends with. And you say, well, how can you know that? Well, just add it up. If it adds up to a multiple of 9, every number is divisible by 9. Every combination. Let's just illustrate. 9 plus 0, well, that's on either end, right? 9 plus 0 is 9. 8 plus 1 is 9. 7 plus 2 is 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 5 plus 4 is 9. All the digits.
Mm-hmm.
So why is this important? Well, you can write a computer algorithm with some of these rules and use it to factor numbers in a computer much, much faster.
Okay.
You can use this math that I'm talking about, and you can show that there's non-random patterns in some of the numbers we consider random. Well, let's say something like prime numbers or Fibonacci series. I'll let you guys explore that like I did. So for those that want to explore that further, but there are patterns there. If there's patterns there, that means there's an equation that fits that. Okay. Well, and why is that a potential problem? This is one of the reasons we have to have a quantum computing for our financial system. Because if you can factor primes, you can break the encryption and essentially control all the world's wealth. Encryption is used for guarding all these transactions, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, but won't they catch you? Or won't they be able to catch you?
well, maybe not. That's the problem. That's why this has to change. That's why it's going to change.
Maybe not.
That's why what's coming next, probably when if the deep state tries to push this great reset, what we're going to have is collapse. Of course, there are people predicting that collapse will come on December 3rd when they claimed that there are people that claimed that the deep state plans to make the United States default on their debt. I don't know if that's true or not, but you think of the calamity that causes in the world, and then they'll say, "Oh, we've got to change the system. We got to introduce this new banking system. That's the great reset they're talking about."
Yeah.
Well, trust me, if that happens, it'll be turned around. But there'll also be a new system. There's definitely a new system coming.
Yeah.
And it'll be a quantum-based computing system, and probably we will all be issued a blockchain type card. It's kind of an identification card. And this time that card will be able to be used for anything, including voting. Okay? Because you won't be able to break the encryption. You won't be able to fake it. Someone won't be able to make a fake ID of you. You know?
Well,
But there's other reasons for that. But there's a lot more to what I'm trying to suggest here. Combination of these base powers of these just 1 through 9 are what make up all the mathematics of the universe. That's
okay.
what I'm trying to say in a nutshell.
All right.
That's why I'm trying to. And this system of mathematics is encoded in the Q drops. I haven't given you fraction. You know, the three verses in there talking about the world is watching.
Yeah,
they're all encodings.
I think there was only 2 of those. In fact,
no, there are 3.
I think I found them. Can you hold on a second? I'll go get it. Okay.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay. But there's so many more in there. And of course, it's encoded in reality around it. It's encoded in everybody's name. There's encoded patterns in their names. I'm not saying they're all Q30. I'm not saying that. But if you take and add up the digits for each letter in your first name and then your middle name and your last name, you can get the base energies. And I don't know all the base energies. I know base energy of 5 is essentially patriot energy. Mm-hmm. The base energy of 8 is considered godly energy.
Okay.
Which of course 17 is one of those.
Okay.
And usually one of those names will encode for one of the base energies of change, which are 3, 6, and 9. So, and then I remember if you have 3 different lines, 3, 6, 9, and then you have 2, 5, 8, and you have 1, 4, 7. Look what happens when you combine one of the numbers from one group with another group. If you take the 3, 6, 9 and combine it with the 2, 5, 8, what do you get? 3 plus 2 is 5. It's in the same line, right? And if you have, 5 plus 3 is 8. It's in the same line. Okay? And then 8 plus 3 is 11, which if you add that up, you get 2. So everything stays on the same line when you add it by what I talk about the numbers associated with change, which is 3, 6, 9. I'll do the same thing with 6. 6 plus 2 is 8, same line. 6 plus 5 is 11, which is, add the digits, you get 2, which is same line. 6 plus 8 is 14, which is 1 plus 4 is 5. See, it's the same line. Now let's do the same thing with the line 1, 4, 7. 3 plus 1 is 4. That's in the same line. 3 plus 4 is 7. They're in the same line. 3 plus 7 is 10, which add the digits add to 1, so you're in the same line. Now, that's just all well and good. Now see what happens when you add the 2 5s 8s to the 1 4 7s. Let's say 2 plus 1 is 3. That's, I use the analogy, it's like matter and antimatter, right? You had, say matter was 2, and you added it to 1, you get 3, which is that energy, a transformational number. And then 2 plus 4 is 6. Again, it's like energy. 2 plus 7 is 9. Or, you keep do that. I'm just illustrating some patterns that one way you can see this, if you draw a clock, a circle, where you have the clock only has 9 digits, right? 1 through 9. So 360 degrees divided by 9 is what? 40, right? So you can get a compass out or protractor out, draw a circle, and every 40 degrees make the letters, and then connect 2, 5, and 8. You'll see it makes a triangle. Similarly, 1, 4, 7 makes a triangle, and finally 3, 6, 9 makes a triangle.
Sure.
And then so anyway, I'm not gonna go into any more than that.
Okay.
With the triangles, what they mean, but
all right.
I'm trying to jumpstart people with exploring those numbers. Especially in relation to our reality. The combinations of these patterns for each number is what makes up all the mathematical functions in our universe.
Okay.
All our reality.
I found your that those 2 posts, The World is Watching. There were only 2 posts, 1258 and 1216. So April 20th, 2018, Q says, there's 3 numbers, 11, 24, 57, 8, 3 times. And then it says,
11.
It says, well, there's a little V. Let me see. I guess the V would be pointing to the right. So it's lesser than, 2 lesser thans. And then it has a 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. I think these are, they're highlighted red. So they might be images.
Okay.
And it says, is at Snowden talking about us? This is a question. This is the question. Is at Snowden talking about us? And then Q says, the world is watching, Q. And then the next one, 1258, which was April 24th, 2018. The question from an anonymous is, when will we have, all caps, Moab, mother of all bombs? And then Q answers, should we tell all the good people watching the day and time? Red carpet rollout? Think logically. The world is watching, Q. In other words, it's not going to tell you when it's going to happen because everyone would know. Right?
Right. But there's 3 phrases in the Q drops that you didn't, you only got the one that says the world is watching. Yeah, there's 2 others. The world is watching, see if I can even remember what it says. You could easily search when we had the IMAP.
Well, this is QAnon.pub. So I punched in the world is watching and it comes up with only these 2 posts. So
it must not be the complete post. I'm telling you, there's 3.
Well,
but and I know we talked about this before, and you actually looked all 3 of them up before.
Well, let me see.
I don't know if you have it in your notes somewhere, but it's not important. If people find it, they'll see that that's one of the things that. Well, let's do the world is watching, okay? The is 33. World, 23 plus 15 is what? 33 plus 5 is 38. And then 38 and 18 is, 48 and 66, and then L is 22, 66, 68, and then D is 4, so that's 72. So 72 and 33 is 102 plus 3, 105 is the world, and then is 9 plus 19, so that's 28 plus 105. 105 and 28 is 133. Okay, add the digits to 133, and you get 7, right?
Okay.
And then watching, 23 plus 1 is 24, plus 20 is 44, plus 3 is 47, plus 8, 47 plus 8 is 55, plus 9 is 64, plus 14, 74, 78, plus 7, 7, 8 plus that is 85. 8 plus 5 is 13. When you add it further, it's 4. So that's where 7, 4 came up. Well, there's another one that does the second thing, but it has another phrase like comma. The world is watching, comma, and then there's another or period, and then there's another line after that. And then similarly, there's another final one. It says the world is watching, and then it had another little phrase at the end of it. And the first one reported just 7, 4, and another one said 7, 4, and it looked like it had another day, like 7, 4 to 7, 8. And then the third one was the one that when you translated, it looked kind of strange because the last part of it didn't seem to add up. Well, I think it adds up, but I couldn't interpret it at the time. That's why I was wanting to find it again. But you can look in the reality around us, and see these patterns. 11, any of these names that add to 11 or have a base energy of 2.
Dark Brain says there are 24 posts with "the world is watching" or some variation thereof. Oh, really? For some reason, my search, I'm on QAnon.pub, and I searched the phrase, and that's all it came up with for me. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
if
know why.
people want to spend some time, you'll see that, and what I found in this world of watching post, you take the world is watching. Now you can add the whole thing, right? You could add 130. Let's try that. So you can add the 133, and then the last part we said was what? 85. 85 and 133. What is that? 138 plus 80, which is 218, right? 218.
I'm taking your word for it, buddy.
Well, which is 9-2, right? 218. You can move the 1. That's the thing. Moving any of these digits onto another and adding it is the same as adding or subtracting 9 or a multiple of 9. Okay. You can check that yourself, but 218 could be 29, and in reverse, 29 is 9-2, which is 911, and then reverse is 11-9, which we showed before. 11-9 is also Q30.
Okay. Hey, Q Trendsetter.
That's just an example, and I never noticed that before. The world is watching is saying 11 or Q30,
Okay.
And 119 is what I think the word Milky Way. Jesus adds to 11, which is the same thing. It's encoded throughout our reality. I'm telling you.
All right.
And the minute you start seeing this, you'll understand. People didn't just make this up. There wasn't a bunch of people sitting back in the old days when they're making people's names up. And, okay, we're gonna do this to really mess them up in the future. No. This is the God consciousness. This is God, the source. This is encoded in our reality. And why is that important? When you start to see these patterns and you realize for yourself, you'll realize nothing. Well, first of all, you realize nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There are no coincidences.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a training module for all of humanity, and this is really a movie in a sense. The evil is always serving ultimately the power of good. Okay, this answers that age-old question: how can there be an all-powerful God and yet be evil? Because it's by design. It's a training aid for us. Now, evil can still, in our little simulation, if we don't learn from our mistakes, it can still do harm to us here. But ultimately, what we are is a light being. So you can't destroy the light being.
Okay. Right.
You know.
Yeah.
If we give our power to evil, that's where the biggest mistake we can make.
Right.
And that's what we're supposed to learn, you know, that power is our free will. That is our dominion, our control over our free will, which is our freedom. Mm-hmm. Our free will dominion is our freedom. Mm-hmm. If we give up control to a government, to any control group, to Lucifer or a government, that's when we lose our power as a patriot, because we lose our direct connection to the source. Mm-hmm. And we can, people can help us to reconnect again, but we need help at that point. When we give up our control, we need help.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's no longer under our control when we willingly give it up. That's where we as patriots have to use our power to destroy those contracts of control that have been made between our fellow souls and these control structures.
Okay.
And once we release them from those contracts, they, at their own pace, will reestablish reestablish connection to the source. And of course, through the process of reincarnation, they will become better at their own pace. Of course, we all in this model of the universe, we all serve the bad. So we should not hate the bad. They are actually doing the bidding of God, the source, to train us. I'm not saying we should agree with what they're doing. No. We don't want to go along with them. We don't want to give our control up to them.
No.
But we have to understand that if we hate anything, we're attaching ourselves to that thing we hate. Mm-hmm. We can't do that. We can't let that happen.
Well, I just got to make a comment on the picture that's on the screen here. It's a picture of one of Jupiter's moons. It's its innermost moon, Io, and it's ejecting, having a volcanic eruption, and it was the first off-planet volcanic eruption we've ever witnessed, and it's happening all the time on that moon. Very interesting.
Oh, wow.
Very interesting planet or moon. It's always flexing. The Jovian moons are very, very interesting. You got Ganymede, and you have, what's the other one? Three of them have possible ice oceans, and one of them does with life, according to Corey Goode. So, yeah, very, very, very interesting. Of course, the sunlight does not get out there very much, so it's all the heat from all the radiation and the inner core heat of the moon that heats the vents that feeds the life, apparently. So, yeah. I was watching a video on the Jovian moons, the Galilean moons of Jupiter. Very interesting. Also, on Space Force News, they talked about this, and I saw it earlier too, and then they covered it. So if you're not subscribed to Space Force News, in 1 Foot in 5D, I think is their channel, and go subscribe to them. And where is that darn thing?
Sometimes they get dramatically off topic, but
That's okay.
But yeah, well, we do too here.
So there it is.
I was a little disgusted by their talk of dolphin sex. But
Yeah. So here it is.
they could have let that off.
It was filmed in Switzerland, and this photographer caught it, calls it a blue donut UFO. I don't know.
That was cool.
I'm going to do some adjustments on it if I can find it on my cluttered desktop. Oh my. I don't even know where it is. No clue where it is. Oh, you know what? I can do this. All right, there it is. All right, so now we can do it. So let's brighten it up. That doesn't show us much. It doesn't look perfectly circular. And he said it was moving, so I don't know how it was moving. If it was moving rapidly or not rapidly. You know, it kind of reminds me of the little things they saw, I think from the shuttle, those little things floating around that look like little discs. It looks kind of like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty strange. You know, maybe it's a plasma life form in our upper atmosphere. You know, maybe it's something alive, because it does have a lot of symmetry. I don't know. Who knows what it is, you know? Maybe it's even some kind of ice crystals in the atmosphere, you know, bending the light certain ways. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's a craft, although maybe it is, you know, who knows, right? It almost looks like it's got, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides to it. Looks like it's like octagon shaped, almost like a nut right there. We can, oh, it looks almost like a Q too. It looks like a big letter Q. Look at that.
Really?
A little bit. Kind of. Sort of. But anyway, that's the UFO they saw over in Switzerland. They said,
Have
oh,
you been working on your Q song?
yeah. Not quite done yet. Not quite done. I'm actually working on a couple of them. Max, did you see that dinosaur carcass that they found? Check this out. Well, I don't think it was recently. I think this was a few years ago. But, you know, it doesn't decrease the cool.
Was this on the beach somewhere?
I'll tell you where it is.
Like Lyme, New Jersey?
Where is it? There it is. Let's see. It says, okay. This is from mysteriesunsolved.com. This isn't a dinosaur fossil. It's a mummy. Scientists think the 110 million year old nodosaur was swept to the sea by flooding river, sank, landed on its back, and was pressed into the ocean floor. It's so well preserved that it still has its intestines and weighs 2,500 of its original 3,000 pounds. Wow. So
Yeah. If something gets encased in mud, what they call mud fossils, then they can be almost completely preserved.
Yeah. Kind of like the peat bogs. The people they find in the peat bogs are perfectly preserved.
Yeah.
That's why if I ever die, which I plan to live forever, and so far my plan's working.
Go have someone plant yourself in mud.
No, I want them to put a lot of that peat moss in my casket so I stay nice, and it does turn your skin dark, but maybe I'll finally have a good tan. I'll finally have that tan. But yeah, this is really remarkable. You can see like what the face looked like and the skin and the scales and everything. It's pretty ominous. You know, it's got those little prickly things on his back, you know. Yeah, pretty wild. Hey, you look at some bugs, and some bugs look like dinosaurs. Maybe that's what happened to them. They all turned into bugs, right? Birds and bugs.
Would you like to hear a few lines of my song?
Sure, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, well, first of all, one of them is on about the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I haven't got too far on that, but let's see. The legend goes on of the famous Anon. Let's see, and his fight. Let's see. I keep forgetting these. I should have wrote it down in front of me. And his fight to let's see. His fight for humanity's future. Where we go, one we go all. Let's see. Where we go, one we go all. Where we go, one we go all. It was. Why can't I do it now? And something about our battle cry.
Mm-hmm.
Battle cry. Well, let me do the other one.
Okay.
These boots are made for walking.
There you go.
You said protecting our precious vote was racist. You said the rule of law was not for you. You said our Bill of Rights. You said our Bill of Rights ought to be trampled. But truth is truth, and you ain't said truth yet. The truth is meant for talking, and that's just what we'll do. One of these days, your darkness is gonna meet the light of you.
All right. Yeah.
That's the first part, and then
Meet the light of
Q.
Q. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and then the next one after that is ends with let's see. One of these days, you the people go to throw out all of you.
So,
and then there's another one. One of these days, God's truth is go to lock up all of you. And then another one was, finally, there's one that says, one of these days, your treason is going to be the end of you.
There you go.
That's so there's like four verses I have.
So you got rid of the boots completely. There's no more boots in the song.
Right.
Okay, well, that's pretty good.
I didn't want to use any of those words, so nobody could say it's a direct copy of any of that stuff.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And so, of course, anybody can take that and run with it, make it a hit. All I ask is that you make something on it. You send some money back to Aaron's channel so he can get a new desktop.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I need a new confuser. A new used one. I never buy new ones. I think I did once or twice. I bought a new computer, but
it's kind of limits what he can do right now because his computer is old and it's kind of choked up with everything and doesn't have the modern bells and whistles.
But it gets me by. It gets me by. It's a modified Pong machine. that I've modified to be like a confuser. There you go. Lock them up. Yeah. Well, that's great. That was a great rendition. It sounds like a pretty cool song, both of them.
Well, I'm starving. I'm trying to figure out how do you pack. You know, we saw from the Let's Broke Brandon song that, you know, those things went viral.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know that's waking up a lot of kids.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
because they're all saying, "Well, what's Brand? What's this thing?" And they dig into it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're more computer savvy than we are anyway. So
Of course.
when they hear something, they go search the web for it. So
Mm-hmm.
there's probably a lot more awakened. I'm saying I don't like that word woke.
Right.
There are a lot more awakened children than there are adults, probably.
Oh yeah, star seeds.
Because they're naturally searching everything, and adults don't have the time. They spend all the time at work, and they come back and they're tired, and they have to take care of their children, and they plop in the chair and they're exhausted. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have the time or the energy to do all the exploration the children do. Of course, there's bad sides of that because they can get on the computer and, of course, interact with the wrong people. But
Mm-hmm.
so we have to be vigilant to protect them. But the songs, it seems like songs seems to be a vulnerability for the deep state. So that's why I'm encouraging people to come up with their own songs that's basically what I'm trying to convey is Q is a source of light and not of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I'm trying to show people some of the concrete things that they're doing that we're fighting, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's my intent in the songs. You know, and that'll make people hopefully dig into it and say, "Oh my God, it's true," you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they only hear, remember, so many people only hear what shows up on the mainstream.
That's
So if
right.
you get a song out there and they say, "I want to listen to that song," if someone's talking about the song, they go listen to the song and say, "What's this all about?" You know, and they get an impression, and they're like, "Wow, maybe Q is not this group that the mainstream is saying. Maybe it looks like they're peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they look like patriots." You know, things that lead people to going down the path of really finding out what the truth is.
Yeah.
So I encourage anybody that can do it with whatever way they can. You know, if they're an artist, put it in a meme or a picture, or if you're a poet, put it in a poem and post it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're, a musician, put it in a song. I'm trying to remember the name. There's a great song out there by Lala Deaton. She's a patriot. She's an Anon.
Excuse me.
It was a fantastic one. I think it's called "Where We Go One, We Go All" or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
It's fantastic though. Just search on her name, Lala Deaton.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm right in the middle of something right here. Hold on a second. I was getting something. I was searching for something, so
There's
I could talk about it.
all kinds of talented people out there that need to put out some more. Put some of your ideas out there. I think you'll be surprised how many people will be changed by those things.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned something there, and it made me think of this. I've got a couple of friends, and they have this channel. Where is it? Here it is. Raising Star Seeds. This is cool because now here are real patriot woke awakened people. It's got my good friend oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name now. Heidi Pop and her friend, what's her name? Blonde gal. Abby Lynn. So together they do this raising star seeds. And if you have kids and you're homeschooling them, and here's a great resource. They talk about all kinds of very interesting things. And the last episode was an interview with Z Earth Star Healer, XI Earth Star Healer. Very interesting show. So check that out. Check her out. Because Heidi Pop is like, she's super joyous, and she's so bubbly and full of vibrancy. And Abby is they're kind of like the blonde and the brunette, and they really complement each other very well. That's what I'm trying to say. So check them out. Raising Star Seeds. This is what we need to do. Things like this, because that's a need. People are going to be going, oh my gosh, I want to homeschool. I don't want this CTR. What am I going to do? Well, here's one resource, and this will connect you to many more as well. There you go.
Hey, could you ask? I think it was Dark Brain to share where he found the 24 posts to have the world is watching.
Oh yeah, he did drop that in. He dropped that into the.
What was it? You know.
Here, I'll scroll back. I think it's the same one. I think it's the same one I had. I don't know if I just have the iPad version of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for it here. Okay, Dark Brain puts out QAGG.news.
QAGG.news?
Yeah.
QAG.news.
I guess that's it. But there's some other things after it, like things I don't know how to tell you what they are. Like,
okay,
but
maybe you can get there from there. Just QAGG plus net.
Yeah.
.news.
Yeah.
Okay.
CAG.news. Yes.
Okay, so he put it in the chat so people can see it, though.
Yep. He put that in when we were talking about it. So yeah, I got the best mods there.
Because I think the QMap.pub in the past, I think got
deleted.
Got taken down.
It got too popular. Yeah, it was getting so many hits, millions and millions of hits.
I think it got taken down right at the beginning of January, roughly. I think.
Yeah.
So it didn't have the final post.
I was surprised it was around as long as it was.
Right. Yeah, they're desperate to take it down. Yeah. Well, that's just the thing. There's no going back now. There's enough momentum. There's enough people that have awakened.
Mm-hmm.
This fascist state that we're fighting, they can't possibly win now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
because they require a certain amount of obedient slaves
mm-hmm.
to do their work, and there's just not enough now.
Right.
You know.
And a lot of people are talking about the automation of everything. But I got something I want to show you all here, because you might think at first that it's technology, but in reality, it's human resources sometimes. So when you see a sign, sometimes it's not what you think it is. So here's one right here. And the sign says, speed checked by radar. All right. Now, it's got a picture of the sign, and in the bushes, you can see peeking up from the bushes is radar from MASH. Of course, he's looking out.
Oh, geez.
So there you go.
Radar O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speed checked by
Let's see.
radar. So you might think that's technology, but maybe it isn't. Look behind the
I
bush.
used to remember what city he's from in Iowa.
Oh, really?
Trivia.
His fictitious home?
Yeah, it was on the show.
Oh, gee.
I can't remember what city in Iowa, but now
Yeah.
lost a few brain cells since then. But
Yeah. Speed check that. I thought that was so funny. Oh my gosh. You need a laugh. We need laughs so much, man.
oh yeah, laughing is good for us all.
Mm-hmm. Checked by radar. I thought that was fantastic. Pretty good dad joke there, visual dad joke. The other thing I wanted to bring up here is these. I don't know if you've seen these, Max, but the story goes in 1960 they found all these weird looking fairy type creatures in the basement of this guy's house in England, I believe. And they're like little skeletons with wings on them. They're little teeny things in wooden boxes. And, you know, it's like, what is this? You know, and there are so many different ones. Now, I don't know.
Does he have a hook on the end of his arm? Sorry.
I don't know, but
like from Peter Pan, that Captain Hook.
Could be. But they're showing close-ups of these. Now, these ones these look fake, but I don't know. The one on the right might be one of the ones from that guy's collection, but I don't know. Now, some people are saying this was all just a hoax. Could be. It could very well be. But another thing that it might be is it might be the result of some kind of mad scientist alchemist, you know, creating little life forms in the lab there. Who knows, right? I don't know. What do you all think of that stuff? Oh, Jeremiah Valancourt says, hey, Aaron, you ever read The Holographic Universe? No, I didn't. I didn't read The Holographic Universe.
I read part of it. I bought the book, read part of it, and then I got distracted and didn't read it.
I was reading a book on anti-gravity and I couldn't put it down.
That's a joke.
Ba-doom-ba. Oh, yeah. It's like
I'm starting to catch on to your jokes. I'm starting to be able to see them before it hits me.
You know, it's really tough because I got so many things from my past that, you know, I need to throw away, but some certain things I just can't throw away. I try throwing away and it doesn't work, like my boomerang collection. I throw it away, it just comes right back. Comes right back.
Wow.
They keep coming back. Yeah. I have not read The Holographic Universe. You know, I was just listening to a video today, and maybe I'll share that link in the chat here. If I can find it. The video. Oh, I wanted to show that too. Well, why don't I show this first? So here's something, friends. It's just a random meme. It doesn't really have any pertinent information on it, but it's got an interesting type font. And so I wanted to show it to you. Here it is. And there you go. Now, I'm not sure I didn't really read what the information is on this, so I can't tell you what it is. Maybe you could read it and tell me. But yeah, there it is. Interesting type font, huh? There you go. It's something about the Zelenko deal. So frontline doctors, very interesting. So really good information, but that's my coded way of introducing it to this platform. There you go. Look at that. And if you need any information, there it is. Maybe you can't find it. Look up this episode and boom, there it is. The protocol. And that is it. And you can always rewind it and pause it, take a screenshot, whatever you need to do. So there we go. We're getting that information out any way we can, right? Any old way we can. That's right. That is right. Oh, you weren't here earlier, Max. I don't know if you're watching the proceedings there in Kenosha in the courtroom.
A little bit.
Well, I noticed the judge was reminding me of somebody. Like, wow, he looks so familiar. Who does he look like? He looks just like Art Carney. And I even
I have to go back and look.
I got a picture of him. I posted a picture of the two that are. Yeah, I might as well post that again. There we go. Oh, there it is. Art Carney and the judge. Looking pretty similar to me. To me, maybe not to everybody, but you know. But it's not that unusual to find two people that look alike, because a lot of people have the same features, you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was on the latest Secure Team, and go check out the Secure Team. With Tyler. Now this was on the moon, okay? This guy was photographing the moon. He was videotaping the moon with his camera, and he got this dot moving across. He didn't even see it, but it's casting a shadow here, and it's moving pretty rapidly. Now, for this to be that big and that far from the surface, it's gigantic. This, whatever this is, traveling over the surface of the moon that day, is gigantic, huge. To be able to be seen and casting a shadow on the moon like that, spectacular. So I sure would love to get a camera like that, zoom in on the moon and see what I can find. I would love to.
I have to send you some pictures I took one night. It was like 5 in the morning. I was up and I was watching I had a radar app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main radar weather apps. And all of a sudden, on one picture, there's a gigantic blob that covered the entire state of, I want to say it was Mississippi, maybe.
Okay.
And then, so I was curious about what this thing is. Why is it? It's shaped like a saucer, but it covered the whole, literally as wide as the state of Mississippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
The perfect circle. And so I said, okay, I'm curious. So I waited for it to refresh, which is 5 minutes. And in 5 minutes, it had moved. Well, I knew that that's not a radar glitch. The radar glitch, would be that it's fixed. It doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
So I could calculate from the width of Mississippi or whatever the speed of this thing was enormous. In 5 minutes, it traveled, I can't remember, something like 300 miles or something, 5 minutes or something.
Okay.
So It was very fast. 300 divided by 5, which is 20, let's see, 20, 40, 60. 60 miles per minute. 60 miles per minute times 60 for 3,600 miles per hour.
Wow.
Okay. So I've got those pictures somewhere, and they got the timestamps on them, you know. And I was going to send them to some UFO place or something so people could see them. But not too many. I don't think anybody's seen it online. I need to get them to you so that you can show those.
Okay.
Because there's things all around us, even that can show up in everyday apps that are highly suspicious. And I took a picture. This has now been I'm going to guess about 3 years ago. There was this abnormal thing that showed up on that weather radar. It literally looked like some kind of a vortex. It was in Oklahoma, and other people had noticed it. In fact, I think it might have been MBB 333.
Okay.
Made a presentation about it, the same exact thing that I had seen, and he put it on a video of it and put it up. Well, only a few days later, there's a person traveling across, I think, Louisiana, that saw this thing off in the distance and videotaped it with his phone and showed it from what we could really see, not from the app.
All right.
And he was talking about how unusual it was. And I wanted to put the two together so that people could see them together and see what this thing really looked like. It looked like maybe a vortex, like a place where a spaceship could go in and just a portal. It looked like a portal.
Wow.
A gigantic portal. Maybe 100 miles across, 200 miles across.
You sure it wasn't a portal potty?
Yeah. But I want to find that because I think everybody should see that because it was like,
yeah.
They showed the radar image and somebody later had captured it from their truck going west toward Texas and saw this thing off in the distance and said,
wow.
What the heck is that?
That's cool.
You know?
That's cool. Wow.
Well, if I don't do it, I want to do it soon just to show people this because it was extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it show up on a radar image. I was just looking at the app at the time because it was just abnormal behavior on the app too. It's like, what can do that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I never expected that somebody actually on the ground captured it on camera a few days later and posted it.
Uh-huh.
And I never saw anybody connect the two. That's why I wanted to show people how extraordinary this thing was. It looked out of this world, I'll tell you.
Wow. Sounds interesting.
Well, I don't know if you could find it by going back through MBB 333. Mr. MBB 333 is channel.
And searching, is it like
I don't know how you search for it. He was looking just at the radar image and saw the same thing and was commenting on it. And he's like, he saw the same thing I did. This is not normal. I don't know what this is, but it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then three or 4 days later, there was another video prominent going around the circles, and it had someone. There probably were more than one person that saw this.
So when was this
phenomenon?
When was this? When would it?
I want to say it's about 3 years ago, and let's see, it's before the pandemic for sure.
The fake.
I think it was the year before, and I'm trying to remember what time of year.
You mean the fake pandemic? You know what? I'm starting to think that the one in 1918 was a fake one too. I think that was a fake
Oh
one.
yeah,
I think that was a dry run number one.
right, right. I think you're right.
Yeah, because
They've been planning these things.
more people died from wearing the masks from bacterial pneumonia than that died from the Spanish flu.
Right.
So there you go. I think it was the
Well,
same people, same thing, same plan. Same plan.
I gave you that evidence from Dr. Oz. It seems to suggest there are more people died of the Jabberwocky than what it said died of the disease. That the cure was more deadly than the disease.
Yeah. So Mr. MBB333. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, but he's got like 3,000 videos.
He's got so many. He's a very prolific.
I think you're giving me an impossible mission here, buddy.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
Okay, 6 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. No, this guy's doing one a day. He does one a day.
Well, I'll tell you some good things he has on there, though. He shows that he's got all these people that do these recordings of especially of weather around the country.
Clouds, yeah.
And he shows one of them. He shows how the UVC, which is immediately dangerous to life, UVC. UVB is the rays normally you get that burn you in a sun lamp, and UVC is worse than that. It's definitely bad for you. And he was showing you how UVC is not supposed to reach the ground on Earth, but he showed how it was very high in some places, that there was and he's asking, why is this? Why aren't we being told this?
What was really high? What was really high?
UVC.
That's not as high as, it's not as
UVA, UVB, and UVC.
That might be high, but I bet it's not as high as Hunter Biden.
No, not as high as Biden.
No, Hunter
Biden. But
Biden.
He's got all kinds of good things on there. He has one there, looks like I said, that looked like the giant trees in Madagascar.
Okay.
That's a video that he's got 2 videos on that, and that blows you away. It made me want to pay to go on a trip to Madagascar to land on top of one of these things and take samples.
Okay.
And then if you look at Google, I spent days on this thing. I went to Google Earth. I don't know which one it is, or it allows you to see under the water.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so you look off the coast of Madagascar to the west side, and there was all these structures underwater. Where I think those definitely not random structures. What the heck are they?
Yeah.
There's so much to explore just in Google Earth.
I know it. And you got Google Mars too, and Google Moon.
Right. And I went to a long time ago. I went to where that guy said he found a base on Mars, and he told where it was, and you could go to that place on Google Mars and see it. And of course, somebody came forward and said, "Oh, we did that on purpose. It's just a joke." But the thing is, nobody would have ever found it. So the fact that it's not a joke, right?
Right. I gotta say hi to Peggy Dancer and to Peggy Dancer and Brooklyn Way. Hello. And Peggy Dancer says it came from Fort Riley, Kansas, not Spain. And soldiers were given bacterial meningitis jab prior to going overseas to fight in 1917, 1918. Interesting. So maybe that's where it came from, huh? Interesting. Yeah, bacterial pneumonia from the mask wearing. Yeah, Peggy Dancer. That's right. The non-maskers were burying the maskers. Hey, wait, maskers, massacres.
Maskers.
Interesting. I just don't
The
know why.
Biden massacres.
I don't know why anyone would wear a mask. I just don't understand it. I see these people wearing masks. I try telling them I invented the Invisimask. They won't listen to me. Some of them, they feel nice and comfy in their mask. I think that they've maybe burned so many brain cells that they don't have much brain left to think with.
The old Biden masker sounds like a phrase for a new song or a poem.
Biden masker?
The old Biden maskers, so it sounds like massacre.
Yeah. Yeah. It is weird how the word is very similar to that.
Right.
Very bizarre. So I got stand up to the lockdowns on the screen right now. Yeah, we need to stand up to the lockdowns and whatever kind of other mandates we got going on there. Just don't go along with it.
Well, you heard about the recent court opinions, right?
Oh yeah, they've halted the mandates.
Fifth Circuit Court in New Orleans
Yeah.
came out and said that until further notice that the OSHA is not to
Right.
not to promote or enforce any of the mask mandates.
Yeah, it's so weird that they picked OSHA to do this because OSHA has a rule where an employer cannot force an employee to work in an oxygen deprived environment, and wearing a mask makes all environments lacking in oxygen. So to have them, I don't know, involve them in this.
I get what you're saying.
And then, the masks also, they come in handy when these leftists get their riders out there, because the riders wear the mask, you can't tell who they are. So,
But surely everybody can see by now that the tide is slowly turning. We're getting all these Durham things coming out that are all about one particular aspect of crime, right? This Russia hoax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's something else.
And so you say, okay, well, where are the big fish? Well, the big fish, when you interfere with an E, and then the election, but anyway, when you interfere with something, then that is considered a treasonous crime.
Mm-hmm.
And does not fall under the normal legal approach. Those crimes are carried out by a military tribunal. So we're not going to hear about those things, and so we might hear about them ultimately in this case because they want people to know,
Mm-hmm.
But it will be dramatic when we hear about this, But so I think people should be. This is all part of our training.
Mm-hmm.
We should all be happy. The more happy we can be, the better. Go be happy. Go do something fun. Be happy. Rejoice.
Here's some good news.
Touch someone.
Here's some good
Touch
news.
somebody.
Here's some good news, buddy. Check this out. Breaking. This is from Christopher F. Rufo. Okay, breaking. Parents in Rochester, Minnesota have filed a 41-page records request asking the school district for all teaching materials, emails, and contract data related to equity, social justice, and critical race theory. The parent movement is starting to play hardball. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness.
It's right now, if you look at the news of the last, the things that woke up people the most in the last 60 days were probably one, Let's Go Brandon was a big one, right?
Yeah, love that.
That was a big one. Of course, and another big one was, of course, what happened in Virginia, related to the children and parents not having the right
Mm-hmm.
to have any say about what their children get taught.
Right.
And then the whole notion that these parents could be considered domestic terrorists.
Right.
that incensed many, many parents.
Oh, yeah.
That will go across the spectrum. It's not a Democrat versus Republican when it's the children involved, right?
Right.
So that was a major blunder on their part. But this is the thing. That's what Trump really did, is speed their program along and force them to make, in order to put their plan into place, they had to force things. They had to rush things. And of course, the more they rush, the more people wake up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening. There's no way to put this genie back in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
They're done. You know, it's just a matter of time. They're done. You know, poke them with a fork. They're done. You know.
Yeah. Well, Peggy Dancer says, think Hollywood masks that can change entire appearance, sex, etc. Pull off and unmask the cabal players. Yeah. Take off their masks. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, if you have to predict what they're going to do, well, they're going to try to accelerate even further, right? They think their goose is cooked. They're going to, right? They're going to try to roll it out as fast as they can. So,
yeah,
you know, that's why this is why this prediction that, you know, they're going to probably try to default on the national debt, which is going to cause an international economic catastrophe, which of course they would use then to say, hey, we need to put this new banking system in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. And so they would, you know, there's lots of things you could think about. They might try to use force somehow. They might try to take away guns somehow, or they definitely will try to stir up. They're going to definitely try to stir up the patriots. But fortunately, the patriots are not responding. Fortunately, they realize that's what they want the patriots to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they want us to play into their hands when we're not doing it. So we're not acting in fear. We're not being triggered. We're not being triggered into getting out with our guns and challenging them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not used to that. That's the playbook that they were counting on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They weren't
to take them off their game.
They weren't counting on level-headed, because the thing is, here's the deal, and I think that we need to get the message out to everybody to stop hating the other side of religions and politics, because you know, because look at the left, they're crazy. They think there's all these white supremacists and all these, you know, hillbillies with guns that are going to shoot everybody. It's just not true. It's a complete fabric. It's a cartoon image that they've created. They've crafted it. It has no basis in reality. Every time, every single thing, think about it, every single big thing that they've had in the news over the last 4 years, it's all been fake, from a Jesse Smollett to everything. They even the guy at the NASCAR with his loop on his garage pole. And then when there's real crimes like the Hunter Biden laptop, you get nothing. There's endangerment of children. There's crimes, endangerment of children, and they do nothing. But they
it's not really a Democratic versus Republican thing. That's what people need to.
No.
We need to diffuse this. I see a lot of patriot channels, and they're well-meaning channels, of course, but we need to get them to try to diffuse their languages, because we don't want to trigger the Democrats right now, because we want those people to use their critical thinking and wake up.
Right.
As long as we trigger them, they're not going to wake up.
It's not all of either party. It's some of each party, and mostly the ones in power. And that's the problem. Now, you had someone like Tulsi Gabbard, who, in my opinion, when this whole, run up to the election started, she, in my opinion, was the Democrats' best hope to get
Oh, yeah, I agree.
something, but still would never be enough to overtake Trump. But she was clearly hands above anyone else. I mean, she had the people behind her. She talks like a real person. She was a veteran. I mean,
She has clearly not exceeded her control to anybody.
she's a good Democrat. There are good Democrats. There are good Republicans. There's also
Right.
bad Republicans and bad Democrats.
Right.
But
Yeah.
if the world was fair, Tulsi Gabbard would have been, I guarantee, if you would have put it to the people that, early on,
She would have been a major contender.
she would have been a huge contender.
No question.
She might have to switch parties to get somewhere, which would be kind of sad, but because we need good Democrats, we need good Republicans and good Democrats. You don't want all of just one side.
Yeah, but you need to stop putting out the hate, and that's why I keep telling people, look, this is really, everything is going as it's supposed to go. Believe it or not, this is how it was supposed to happen. This is, in that sense, like a movie. It's everything is going according to plan. We're not losing. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way it's supposed to play out. And it's for a reason. It's for us. All of this is for us. Our consciousness. This is all for us to wake up and learn and to look within and forgive ourselves, forgive others, to learn not to be triggered, to learn not to to judge others, to learn to have empathy toward other people, which we were there. Many of us were there before. Many of us were Democratic leaning, right? And then we suddenly woke up.
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of us were.
And we were triggered then.
Oh yeah.
We were triggered by Trump then.
I was defending Bill Clinton when they were claiming he was having affairs. I was like, wow, he's in love with Hillary. And then the blue dress came along. And I went, holy crap, this guy's a jerk.
Right.
I'm not doing anything for him anymore. No way. Yuck.
Right.
Disgusting.
But it goes bigger than that, because we didn't realize, of course, we played these bad people before in our past lives. So we can't really judge these people. They're playing a role. They're teaching us lessons about ourselves. All are going to be redeemed. Nobody gets left behind. God is a loving God. This is all for our benefit. Enjoy it. Take it in. We're at a special time in humanity's future. It's all going to work out. There's no question. There's zero question. I know if you don't see it, you won't think that. And this is why I'm so happy that Red Pill starting to put out more of that content, where they bring up some of the real content of the laptops. I encourage more Patriot channels to bring up more of that information again, for all the new crop of people who have awakened and are saying, well, where's the evidence? The evidence is there. I've talked to friends and they say, where's the evidence? I said, well, you got to look here. I tell them where to look, but nobody has the time. So that's why I'm hoping more Patriots will bring back some of that evidence one more time so people can see it. And Red Pill, thankfully, was doing that,
Yeah, Red Pill's great. X22, X22, Red Pill. You can find them on BitChute, on Rumble. You can, there's all sorts of really good shows out there, friends. Just find them. You're going to have a blast. You already know. I mean, we're speaking to the choir,
there's
but
real data. Real data they put out in the past of, actual emails from the server that supposedly got destroyed with the 80,000 emails that showed that what was being transferred to China was our deepest secrets, military secrets. All to bring down our power. Right? And then of course there's all kinds of laptop data from various laptops out there. There's a mound of data related to what what was going on with the funds going to Iran, what was about Iran blackmailing, basically blackmailing Biden, over killing SEAL Team 6, along with somebody else. Okay, and there was a huge trove of data made available to prove that, right? Yeah, everything down to the serial numbers on the weapons that took down SEAL Team 6. I mean, it was very exhaustive information. Okay. So, and this is what this fiasco was involved in. What is it? Libya, right? With the embassy there.
Okay.
Where all those Americans got killed.
Right.
That was all part of it. That whole story hasn't come out. It came out a little bit when a patriot came forward with this. I can't remember how many gigabytes of information, videos and data and documents showing the proof of what transpired there. That this massive payoff that was being made to Iran, because Iran was threatening to go public and tell the truth. That's why they're giving them all the cash,
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So
should never have happened.
and people need to see that, and especially all the new people that haven't seen this evidence, and they just have to kind of take it on faith. And I tell some of my friends that are in that position, say, you don't have to take it on faith. You can go look at these things, and I try to encourage patriots to have these channels to replay some of these things. Replay some of these things so the new people waking up see that it's all real. Okay? See that there's real sauce,
Yeah, Dark Brains.
This is just us versus them.
Dark Brains mentioning, Red Pill 78's interview with a man who has all of Hunter's laptop data was very interesting. Yes, it was extremely interesting. All the crimes he saw. I mean, it's
You probably
just,
sold the one where,
and the FBI had that since 2019.
well, True Reporting had a major breaking story on one of these things. Go back and look through some of his things. It was about 2 years ago, I'd say, right about 2 years ago. Well, no, 2 years ago right now would have been, let's see. But it's probably in the 2.5 year range where True Reporting, if somebody asked him, he could tell you right where it was, I'm sure.
Yeah, Thomas.
Where he had this breaking information about either laptop data, or I can't remember if it was laptop data. I think it was this thing about Iran, though.
Mm-hmm.
And he had lots of data. And the websites you could find this data. Real reference data, not he said, she said, not anonymous sources,
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. All we get from the mainstream media is anonymous sources. And it all turns out to be false and fake. Whereas there's real data. So I just want some of the patriots to bring up some of that real data again. So that some of the new people they will relax and realize that what we're telling them is the absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are people that gloss over things and make things. Of course, every group's got those. We have that problem. But people like Red Pill have been the first to go out there and says, no, we need to stick to the sauce, right?
Yeah.
We need to stick to the claims that we have sauce for.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an effort there has been an effort to try to not silence but correct the people that are putting out the stuff that's completely without sauce. So,
right.
But this is all going to go exactly as we wanted to have it. Believe it or not, It's all going to happen. We just have to stay calm. And I say the real purpose of the 17 movement is to keep the patriots calm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real purpose, because the best way to defeat them is let them panic and defeat themselves. And that's what they're doing. Look at it. Look what they're doing. In trying to push things too far and whatever, guess what? They're waking more people up in droves.
Yeah.
It's not something we're doing. When people are doing things, the patriots are certainly doing things to wake people up, but not half as much as the deep state is. I mean, look at that mistake about "Let's Go Brandon." Instead of being honest and say this, people are shouting something that we shouldn't be talking about. You know, instead of saying something like that, she says they're saying "Let's Go Brandon." Well, think of what a catastrophe that was for them. You know.
Yeah.
So that's a classic example of where it comes back to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
Deep State got bit by that one.
Yeah.
No question. And this movement is happening all around the world. Fear not. Fear not. The world is awakening everywhere.
Yeah. And speaking of waking up, this image right here is Awesome Possum waking up on his first day of school. He's eating breakfast, and he's wondering if Miss Moose is going to be his teacher, and it is going to be. I think I showed this once before. This is one of the pages that's almost done, not quite done yet. But there he is, Awesome Possum. Yeah, that's one of the books I'm working on. I'm working on 2 books with him. Awesome Possum and Awesome Possum Goes to School. Both written and illustrated by me, and they will be done at some point, but probably not before Christmas. If people want books for Christmas, I do have the Popple books, Popple and Popple's Place, which I did illustrate. I didn't write those, but they're very well written. So if you're interested in those, let me know, and we'll get them out to you for a really good price. I got to figure that all out. So there you go. Yeah, he's a fun character, the Awesome Possum, and he teaches kids that it's not the cool things that you do, it's how nice you are. That's what makes you awesome. How nice you are to others. So, and this is him going to school, and of course, one of the listeners here, Mike, my good friend Mike, the firefighter, he recently sent me a lot of money, a big chunk of money, and I thank him so profusely. But he had a suggestion that Awesome Possum should be saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So now he is going to be saying Pledge of Allegiance. It's going to be in the book. Thanks to his suggestion. I think it's a great idea, because I hadn't thought of that. It didn't come to me when I wrote it. So
he goes to school and he pledges allegiance to the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that says why he does it. Maybe. Yeah. So he's telling the kids why.
Well, it's they're in school, and the teacher is it's
right.
It's when it's all done, I'll read it to everybody.
That sounds great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Let me see if I have that.
That's one of the very big miscalculations that the deep state made is we've had so much. People have, with the Pledge of Allegiance, all the songs we sing on Independence Day, all the things they didn't count on the true patriotism of the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
Because when push comes to shove, we will unite unlike probably any other country in the world. The people, when they know what's going on, we're not going to be stopped. Okay, that's it's been ingrained in us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't fear your Democratic friends. Most of those people dislike what's happening as much as you do. Many of them have not awakened from the propaganda yet, but don't worry. They care about their kids as much as anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that junk. It's only a tiny fraction of people that putting it out pretending like it's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really going on.
Yeah.
And then trying to convince people by using these division tools that everybody's out to get them. Everybody's racist, right? And you can only take that so far. When you start calling Rose racist, people are like saying, what? What the heck are they talking about? These people have lost their freaking minds, is what people are saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the people who really, at once upon a time, were oppressed people have suddenly said, this is not my experience now, for the most part. This is America's done so much to lift up all people,
Mm-hmm.
People of color in the world, more than any other government in the world. And they're making us all as victims. And then we're the ones that are disproportionately affected by these things that prevent us from going to work in New York City or going out to eat in New York City or any of these things. And so they all get it. They're starting to get it. It says, look, the people are oppressing us.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying it's the other side. It's not. They get it. Trust me, they all get it. People are just waiting to know what to do. And so that's why it's important for what we do, because if we do things to trigger them, when they reach out to find out what we're about and they get triggered, we're defeating the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
We got to make sure they understand that we're a welcoming place. We are peace-loving people. We care about what happens to our country. We're patriotic. We understand that it's not a D versus R thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be welcoming. We got to be loving. This is what wins people over. That's what lets people not get triggered, because they've been so used to being triggered by the media.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to be the place that they don't get triggered, so that they spend some time, they learn, and all it takes is a few things they see and say, oh my God, and then they woke up. Poof, they woke up. Right? But they got to get to that point, so we got to avoid it. That's what I'm saying. Some of the people on the right side broadcasting do a little bit too much triggering, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And they're well-meaning. I know they're well-meaning. I'm not going to accuse them of not being patriots. I'm just saying, let's tone down a little bit, trigger less, so that these people will see that we're not some kind of a one-size-fits-all group.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We care about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, we also care about our mods too here. We care about everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for chatting and being so awesome in the chat. That picture that's up on the screen right now is Gary Goose. When I first started to digitize him from a sketch. I do all my sketches by hand with pencil on paper. Oh, Peggy Dancer. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's fantastic. Wow. $49.99. Thank you so much. So much appreciated.
You know what I just thought about?
What's that?
I'm going to go back and look through the Dr. Seuss books and see if any of the phrases in Dr. Seuss books point to Q30 or not.
Okay. All right.
I know them by heart.
I bet you they will. I bet you they will.
Red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Great book. Great book. That's
I
like
do
one
not
of
like
those
green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam.
That's
I
right.
would not eat them in a boat. I would not eat them with a goat.
Yep. That's right.
I remember that from when I was growing up.
Do you know the backstory of that book? Green Eggs and Ham? Okay, so the backstory of that book was Dr. Seuss, Leo Giesig's publisher, challenged him. He said, I challenge you to write an engaging story using only 49 words. And he did. That's it. By repeating them over and over again. Brilliant. Brilliant. 49 words. Isn't that amazing?
I think it's one of the most memorable books that I've ever read because I remember it from childhood. You know? So,
thank you so much, Peggy Dancer. Thank you very much.
There's got to be hidden messages in that. I guarantee you. I have to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
And the hidden messages there, they didn't get put in there by the Patriots. They got put in there by God, the source. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. That's my basic point here. These messages put in all these things are not by accident. This ought to tell you that everything, God is in control. The Patriots are in control. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So fear not. Fear not. This is all going to work out. Don't engage these people with anything but love. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll work out. We're gonna. The people, of course, stand up where you can, but don't go crazy and have to put yourself in harm's way, you know, because these bad people will hurt you, you know. You give them a chance, they will hurt you. But remember, put yourself in, have empathy. Put yourself in another person's shoes. You were once there. And many of us have done so many bad things in our life that we can point to. We have to forgive ourselves. Not only in this life, but our past lives. Because we were there. We were the same people we're fighting against in the past, maybe on another world. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're no better. I keep emphasizing this. We're no better than anybody else. Okay? None of us are. We all have unique skills. That's not to say we don't have uniqueness about us. We do.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't imply one thing is better than another, because look at this whole movement.
Mm-hmm.
We needed Trump. Trump was a very powerful leader. Okay?
Yeah.
But he's not perfect.
No.
We shouldn't make him out as a god.
No.
Right? A god figure. He needs us as much as we need him.
Mm-hmm.
We need him for his leadership qualities, but he needs us to have his back.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's putting it out there. He's making changes. He needs to know that if they come after him, we're going to be there to protect, be behind him. Look at the enormous response the people had, the Patriots gave to when General Flynn and his family were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
This is what America is at its best.
Yes.
This is what the movement is about. And as long as the movement is about those things, it cannot fail. Of course, it's not going to fail. It's not destined to fail. This is always our destiny. And when we come out of it, you will see we will have this fantastic world that we only dreamed of before. And it's just part of our awakening. It's part of our kindergarten training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just like the awesome possum. We're going to school and we're learning certain things, and all the possums in the world are learning the same thing. And they one day they all of a sudden they get to the next grade, and then suddenly they say, "Wow, this is different." I know my ABCs now. I know my number tables now. And all of a sudden the world means a little bit more to me. And eventually you grow up enough, you say, "Oh, I understand a little bit why my parents said that now." At the time I didn't believe them, right?
Yeah.
And all these things, we're going through that, but as humanity as a whole now, not just individuals. And it's as real can be. That's what I'm trying to show you when I'm showing you these numbers. Then Let's Go Brandon, that encoded in there is Q30. There's no accident. It could have been a lot of different things. The chances randomly Q30. Come on now, think about it. Do some serious think about it. You know. You know, and all these phrases should have each message in it. You know, that when you add up the digits for, it doesn't matter whether it's Osama bin Laden or Jesus Christ, you'll find that they're all coding for our ascension. They're all coding for our graduation.
Yep.
I mean, this is the matrix. This is a matrix. It is a matrix. It's a matrix, a training matrix for us. And we should be happy that God, the source, loves us so much. And He's putting through this training, and it's tough, and it's meant to be tough, right? It's meant to toughen us up. It's meant to train us to reject evil. It's meant to train us to show us what the bad does, right? So that we can say, I reject that. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to use division anymore. I'm going to forgive my people that have wronged me. I'm going to forgive myself. And I'm going to do all these things. And what will happen, and this is where you're going to find that suddenly you have more intuition. You're going to find suddenly all these synchronicities are going to start happening. You're going to find you have the ability to say something to yourself and see something actually happen. You're going to realize all your prayers are going to be answered. You're going to realize you have the ability to heal not only yourself, but to heal others. You're going to literally be starting to realize the superpower is resident in every single one of us. Okay?
Right. Yep.
Because we are all divine. Think of what they taught us in all our religions. It's true that we have sin, right? But that doesn't mean we're not divine. See, that's the part that's left out. We're divine. We have to learn. We have to learn to behave. We have to learn to be taught the right lessons, right?
Well, I'm not so sure we're born in sin. I just don't buy into that. I think some of that's, I think religion for the most part is good, but there's so much dogma, and that's part of the dogma for me. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we are divine by our nature, we are not already started off as evil, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? We are divine by our very nature.
I just don't know. I don't know why anyone would want to be a bad guy. I've always spent my whole life wanting to be the good guy. I mean, watching movies or whatever, I'm always picturing myself as the good guy. But you know what? Today, kids, they emulate these dark characters, and they worship these dark. I think it's terrible.
But how many lifetimes did it take you to get to that point? When my point
I don't know.
is
Yeah, I'm not perfect anyway. I'm not perfect, but
we all did bad things in the past. So to get to this point, we've had to go through enormous learning, every one of us.
Right.
Okay. And that doesn't mean we still have lots to learn. I'm not perfect.
No.
I make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes. I'm trying to be a growing human being and trying to make fewer and fewer of those mistakes. But I'm not perfect. I have to challenge myself all the time. I have to catch myself when I want to.
That's right.
Think about somebody in a negative manner and say, no.
Right. Right. Exactly.
That's not serving the purpose that we're here for.
Pins and needles, needles and pins. Now, I got to say, Peggy Dancer said, thank you, Aaron, and your great mods and team. It's all about the children. Yes, it's all about the children. To see what happens to our children is what happens to our future. So the better we take care of our children, the better future we'll have. It's so simple. And so everything is keyed into the children. So everyone needs to try to to make this a happy, wonderful world and a wonderful childhood for each and every child who comes into this world, that you have some kind of contact with, even if it's just smiling and waving at someone. You can really make someone's day and week just by being nice to that child. And
a smile.
Yeah. And
a handshake.
And to talk to them as equals, and not as to talk down to them, because they're really a lot smarter. They're smarter than us anyway. They really are.
Do a random act of kindness. I go through the fast food lines once in a while, and I'll pay for the car behind me. I'll say, okay, I'd like to give you $20 toward the car's meal behind me.
That's cool.
And
That's
I'll
nice.
I'll pull ahead enough that I can see that they're telling these people they're going to do that, because I want to make sure that they're not lying. I usually do this at restaurants where I know someone working there, so I can make sure it actually happened, and then just take the $20 and keep it, right?
Yeah. I had a friend who did that too. He did it a little different though. He said, the guy behind me is going to pay for mine. He did it a little differently, but I like your way better.
Okay.
I like your way better.
I don't think that would go over very well.
No. Well, we're coming up. It's
and I try to leave before, of course, they can say anything, because my purpose is not is to, I don't need to be known who did it. Just that somebody thought of them and did it. That's all. Those little things.
Right.
Imagine a suffering family still got to feed their kids, and get there and they have a really bad day, and lots of things went wrong for them. They're about to get kicked out of their house, and when all of a sudden this thing happens, a good thing happens.
Yeah.
That helps them. That's a real help to their spirits. And then suddenly they say, okay, if there are people like this here, we're going to get by. Okay, we're going to get through this,
Yes.
When people at their last leg, with a kind word, a kind deed, can make all the difference. So, and it makes difference for you too, the person doing it. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'll get off my pedestal here, but.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap it up again, Max.
Okay.
I got to thank you for calling in. We missed you last time. I'm sure that.
Yeah, well, I get every once in a while I eat too much or whatever and pass out.
It's all right. Well, I hope you had a good dream, and I hope everybody in the audience in the chat has a good dream. I want to thank all the mods, the super mods, the mod squad. You're the best. You guys rock. Also, everyone in the chat, every single one of you.
I love you all.
And so does Max. And I want to thank our super chatters tonight, Peggy Dancer and Catherine Weiss. And everyone who likes, shares the program. Keep your camera and phone to the sky so you can take a picture of that UFO, so you can come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. And remember, you rock. Peace in.